Or people will say, that because Canada didn't support it initially, it doesn't really have any effect in Canada. And that's also untrue. That human rights declarations, even if Canada hadn't decided to endorse it, once they are adopted at the UN, they go into effect. So it's not the same thing as an international convention or a treaty. Once a declaration is adopted, it's adopted. And so, but the fact that it now has consensus support, there's no state in the world that opposes the declaration. That gives it a lot of legal significance. So I think one of the other things that sometimes people get muddled with is they'll say, well, it's only an aspirational instrument. So, how useful is it? But it isn't. And even actually, the Prime Minister went in the fall of 2017. He went to the General Assembly and gave his head of state address. And in it, he said, we know that the UN Declaration is not merely aspirational. Like, we know that it is more than that. So that's another thing that I think people have to get over, is this idea of it's just an aspirational instrument. And it does have legal effect. And it is being used in litigation. It's certainly being used now in policy development all over the country at all types of levels. It's being used we now have 5 federal pieces of legislation that include an affirmation of the UN Declaration and Canada's commitment to implement the Declaration. So that's in 9 federal laws. There's also provincial laws that include the Declaration. So it is a legal instrument. It's not a legal instrument in the same way that a convention is, but it is a legal instrument.